On March 16, 2006, a video was posted on YouTube by a young man named Brandon Hardesty. It was a reenactment of a scene from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He played both the parts of Uncle Joe and Willy Wonka. It's simple but effective. A few videos later, Brandon Hardesty would experience a whirlwind journey of internet fame, Hollywood notoriety, and a period of depression that would change the course of his life and career. Whatever happened to this forgotten internet icon? Well, sit back, relax, grab a box of Lunchables, and let's travel back to a time when Brandon Hardesty was an internet sensation. Before we jump into the video, don't forget to pounce on the like and subscribe buttons along with the notification bell. It would really help support my channel, plus you'll know when one of my new videos drops. And now, back to the show. While Brandon Hardesty was majoring in film at the Community College of Baltimore County, he started uploading YouTube videos in his spare time. They started gaining traction once a website called Something Awful started posting his videos on their message boards. The message board, in Hardesty's own words, read, "Chunky guy reenacts Home Alone, Star Trek, and more." He did reenactments of Princess Bride, Pulp Fiction, Silence of the Lambs, and Big Lebowski, to name a few. He hit his first million views with a video called Strange Faces and Noises I Can Make. Brandon has an uncanny way of inhabiting the cadences of the actors he's portraying. It's heartwarming seeing someone be so free with his creativity and shoestring production values. By the time his video Strange Faces and Noises I Can Make 3 came out, he experienced a wild uptick in his popularity. The video was featured on the YouTube homepage, which back in the day was a big deal to a creator because it was something all visitors on the website would see. Today, what you see on your homepage is tailored to you and your viewing experiences. It wasn't long before the video was featured in a Geico commercial. That commercial helped Brandon pay off his car at the time. Not long after, a producer emailed Brandon after seeing his Goodfellas reenactment. He wanted Brandon to audition for a movie called Bart Got a Room. And Brandon's luck was just beginning because he booked that role and flew to Florida, where he spent 3 weeks filming amongst actors like William H. Macy, Alia Shawkat, Cheryl Hines, Jennifer Tilly, and John Polito. Life was a dream for Brandon Hardesty at this point in time, which was 2008. He made appearances on talk shows, and he was auditioning for more parts than he could count on his two hands. By 2009, Brandon was starring in the straight-to-DVD American Pie spin-off, The Book of Love. He shot that in Vancouver for 6 weeks and had the time of his life. By this point, he had dropped out of college and was living in LA full-time, pursuing his acting career. He made an appearance in Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star, which was a box office flop with a current rating of 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. But you know what? Imagine you got that role and you were acting with people you'd seen on TV and movie screens your whole life. It'd be a trip. He was keeping up with his videos at the time, but his attention was dead set on his acting career. You get the sense that Brandon started viewing his channel as a stepping stone. In fact, he's even stated in an interview that he saw his videos as a sort of resume. You see, part of the catch-22 of being a creator during this time in YouTube history was that a lot of creators didn't know what they had. In fact, this was before YouTube introduced ads to the platform, which opened up a lot of money-making opportunities for its creators. No, YouTube was seen as a goofy place that was still a novelty. It was, in Brandon's case, a stepping stone to the far superior prospects of Hollywood. Unfortunately, this mindset ended up hindering his psyche going forward. After booking a series regular role on a show called Living on a Prayer, only to have it not be picked up by the network, Brandon started getting depressed. He missed his friends and family back home. He, in his own words, mind you, started eating a lot of Hot Pockets and gained a bunch of weight. After 2 years, he kind of stopped making YouTube videos because he was ashamed of not achieving some imaginary level of success that he built up in his head. Anyway, he started getting anxiety at the fact that casting directors only saw him as a comedian because he was known for making silly web videos. He took a UCB improv class but ended up quitting because it caused him too much anxiety. Brandon moved back home in 2011 and enrolled in college once again. By 2012, he went back to LA just for pilot season. For those who don't know, pilot season is when casting offices hold auditions for new shows being shot by the big networks. He ended up scoring the role of a live-action Cartman on South Park. He had a good time filming it, but it also weighed on him that he was apparently the ideal candidate to play a live-action Cartman. Hot Pockets continued. Once again, Brandon moved back home, where he started working in an office job. By 2013, he moved back to Los Angeles once again, where he rented an apartment for the low cost of $470 a month. He ended up booking some more key roles in an eclectic mix of films. Let's look at those films a little closer. Brandon was co-starring in a movie called 7 Minutes, where he played a cop named Jerome. He also had a sizable role in Scorpion King 4: Quest for Power. It looks like he was having a blast in this one. He also made an appearance in the Nickelodeon show, The Haunted Hathaways. It seemed like this was one of his busiest years as an actor ever. 2015 might even be called a good year. But let's take a moment to look at what was going down over on YouTube. You see, after a while, Brandon started looking at his reenactment videos as a job. And not in the way that millions of people glamorize a job making YouTube videos. I mean, he started looking at making videos like it was a chore. Sure, he was making money from ads by 2009, but he wasn't interested in making YouTube a major part of his career. He did a Twilight reenactment video on November 5th, 2009. It was during this period that Brandon started feeling ashamed of the videos he was making. The upload after that video was called My Twilight Video Behind the Scenes. In it, it shows him feeling frustrated about having to do a reenactment of this terrible movie. He also plays the character that's holding him hostage and forcing him to make the video. This is a pretty revealing moment for Brandon as a creator. It showed he felt trapped in many ways by YouTube and the notoriety it brought him. On the one hand, it helped him get a foot in the door of Hollywood. On the other hand, it felt like it was beneath him now and not up to the standards that he set for himself. From this point on, he started easing off the intensity of his video uploads. By 2013, Brandon discovered Vine, a short-form video app. He went all in. In fact, the description section for the YouTube video Brandon Hardesty's Vine Videos #1, it states, "I've discovered Vine. For those of you who miss me uploading videos, look no further. I'll be fooling around with this app for the rest of my life." By 2017, Vine was shut down for good. Here's a guy who experienced a huge breakthrough with YouTube. It's what introduced him to millions of people. It showed Hollywood that he was someone who could draw people in. It demonstrated his genuine creative talent. If you could go back in time and show Brandon what YouTube would become, maybe he'd still be going strong with his channel to this day. However, things went a little differently. In May of 2014, Brandon launched a channel called No Small Parts. It was a show about character actors who made a big impact in film. The goal was to shine a light on actors who wouldn't usually get a full documentary of their own. It started taking off, and not too much later, the managing editor of IMDB approached Brandon to have that show on their site. He made the deal and then removed the videos from his No Small Parts channel. It was then renamed The Back Focus. No Small Parts seems to still be in production as of this video. It's cool to see that Brandon found a new focus through this series. However, I can't help but wonder why he was so adamant about distancing himself from his original channel. From the very beginning, he never called his channel Brandon Hardesty. It started out as ArtieTSMITW, which stands for Artie, the Strongest Man in the World, from the Nickelodeon show The Adventures of Pete and Pete. In 2018, Brandon changed his original channel's name to UndoTube. He also privated all of his earlier videos. Here's why. I decided to make these old YouTube videos private and put them in this box here under the bed to sort of permanently move on to my next phase in life. I really couldn't watch them without cringing. It felt like I was watching a different person that I didn't like, and it brought back memories about how some of those videos were made for the wrong reasons. But what I totally underestimated was how these videos were actually important in a lot of people's lives. Who am I to get rid of them just because I'm uncomfortable with who I was? We should all be able to look back on our past, warts and all, because our pasts have shaped us into who we are. He ended up putting the videos back permanently. It's a little frustrating to witness Brandon's downfall. It feels like it was caused by his indecisiveness. He kept moving back and forth between LA and his hometown, taking the videos down and putting them back up, changing channel names and the type of content he produced, and honestly, it seems like he couldn't solidify his identity. It was like there was a huge disconnect between how others viewed him and how he wanted to be viewed. However, it seems that he learned that for himself over time. In many ways, Brandon's story ends on a happy note. He met and married his wife, and they have a child together. He was able to turn his docuseries into a steady paying job, which helps him to support his family. His wife got a marketing job that she loves and they moved into a new house. It sounds like a really good life. And look, Brandon Hardesty should be proud of what he's accomplished. It's impressive how he weaved his YouTube fame into an acting career for a time. It would be interesting to see Brandon explore some more fiction content. I think he could have a lot of fun with it. He did do a mock-series on his UndoTube channel called The LG Method. It's a series of videos that makes you question the line between reality and fiction. It's actually pretty funny. I'd love to see Brandon push his boundaries and create more content on that channel. But if he decides to leave it in the past for good, so be it. He's already made his mark in this world. He'll go down in history as one of the iconic content creators from the golden years of YouTube. And that's nothing to sneeze at.